Now, I did want to talk about something that I feel the media's kind of let go of, maybe even forgotten about in recent weeks. The border crisis. Now, say what you will about Donald Trump, but one thing is certainly undeniable. The man was great at combating illegal immigration, right? Under Donald Trump, illegal border crossings reached a record low of 832 a day for the year of 2017. That's according to CNBC. Now, why is that? Well, it's for a number of reasons, a number of policies. For starters, he limited those who qualified for asylum, right? He put a greater scrutiny on people who traveled through multiple countries to seek asylum only in the U.S., right? Because if it's so dangerous in your country, well, why would you go through 5 or 6 different countries to get to the U.S.? Why wouldn't you stop off at the first country nearest you? All right? Second of all, he implemented a zero-tolerance policy, right? Anybody caught illegally trying to cross the border were referred for criminal prosecution, unlike the catch-and-release method under Barack Obama. And he also got rid of the temporary protected status granted to illegal aliens from El Salvador, Haiti, Nicaragua, and the Sudan. Now, let me be clear. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime, not by any means. There is a cost to that. I know a cost seems to be a running theme in this episode. But let's look at that. Let's look at the fiscal cost, for starters. According to a study, a 2017 study done by the Federation for American Immigration Reform, illegal immigrants cost the American taxpayer $116 billion a year. You might ask yourself, well, how does that happen? Well, say a illegal immigrant breaks the law in New York and then flees to Massachusetts. Well, it costs money to arrest them in Massachusetts, costs money to house them in Massachusetts, costs money to transport them back to New York, costs money to arraign them, costs money to run that court case, costs money to implement whatever punishment the court deems necessary. Additionally, if an illegal immigrant has a child and puts that child in public school, well, that's taxpayer funded right there. If they live in a neighborhood that has street cleaning and sanitation duties or trash pickup, taxpayer funded right there. If there's a fire in their apartment and the fire department's called, taxpayer funded. If somebody breaks into their apartment and the police are called, taxpayer funded. If they have a heart attack and go to the hospital, taxpayer funded, taxpayer funded, taxpayer funded, taxpayer funded. Okay? There were an estimated 12.5 million illegal immigrants in the United States in 2017. They accumulated $134.9 billion in costs related to these services. They only contributed $19 billion in tax revenue, meaning that $116 billion in costs from these services are now at the feet of the American taxpayers every single year. Okay? That's just the fiscal cost of illegal immigration. But let's look at the humanitarian cost to it, right? Biden likes to say a more humanitarian approach to immigration. Well, okay. According to a 2017 study conducted by Doctors Without Borders, 31.4% of migrant women are sexually assaulted and raped en route to the U.S., right? Now, that was a 2017 report. A more recent report by Fusion suggests that 80% of Central American women are sexually assaulted and raped en route to the U.S., all right? You look at the people who are making the biggest profit from illegal immigration, it's human smugglers. It's the cartels. It's these organizations that treat people like cattle, that leave people to die out in the desert if they fall off the track, or will rape the people that they're bringing over to the U.S. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about their humanity, right? You want that to stop, you have to disincentivize illegal immigration. You can't just open up the borders and say, we hope everything works out for the best. That does not work. Under Biden, the number of illegal crossings, number of illegal border crossings has risen to 6,000 a day as of March. 6,000. Went from 832 to 6,000. So let's break that down. What does that look like? Well, here it is under Trump, right? Not too bad, not that full. Here it is under Biden. And here's what it looks like when the Biden administration tries to, quote unquote, fix the problem.
Gently extend your arm. Extend your middle finger. Very good.
These people do not care about the border, all right? It's just a political talking point for them, period. And if you don't believe me, all right, has Joe Biden been to the border since becoming president? No. He assigned Kamala Harris to handle the border crisis. But has she been to the border?
Not today.
Did she go to the border facilities? No. Did she interview the ICE members? No. Did she see these people that are stuffed in these cages? No. They do not care. They do not care, and they don't have to care. Do you know why? Because they aren't going to be held accountable for it whatsoever. And they know that. They know that. I, for one, was sick and damn tired of this, honestly. And when I bumped into Jen Psaki the other day outside of Costco, I decided to take the opportunity to try and ask her an actual question about this. Try and hold her administration that she speaks for and represents accountable. Here's what happened.
Miss Psaki, what's the president's position on children in cages?
Spoiler alert, she did not circle back.
Who thinks they're better than you and doesn't care if you subscribe to their channel? Don Lemon, which is why you should subscribe to our channel today.